Welcome to PA Timber Gears. Today we're going to talk about Loctite on your rings and bases. You use either product, the red or the blue, on your scope rings. Red thread lock is not recommended on your rings with the base. This is permanent. Blue Loctite is removable. If you buy loophole bases and rings, they already come with, here's a little bag of screws from my recent scope mounting project. There's actually a little bit of blue Loctite on these screws, which we'll show you in a few minutes. If you put this product on your rings or your base, you have to decrease the amount of torque that you put on them because it acts as a lubricant. You can very easily over torque your screws and strip the threads out of the receiver or the rings. Currently, the rifle I just purchased, I put a Picatinny rail on it, and I have a cross lock Vortex rings, and they do not recommend putting any type of Loctite on there. So we'll talk about that in another video. So today we're going to do an experiment. These are 30mm rings. These did not fit on my Savage. I had to put a rail on it because of the type of scope that I have. So we're going to use this in experiment today. One set of rings will have red Loctite, and one set of rings will have blue Loctite. Loctite will not harden if it sits in the air. It has to have a lack of oxygen for it to harden. It takes about 10 minutes for it to set up, but it takes 24 hours to have it fully cured at the maximum strength. Prevents against leaks and rusting of all threads and applications. Basically what I do is I soak my screws that I'm about to Loctite in alcohol, and then I put a tiny drop on it and tighten them down. Will red thread locker come off of your scope ring screws? We're about to find out. Alright, let's get set up here. We'll change cameras and we'll start our scientific experiment. Stay with us. These are my loophole 30mm rings. So we're going to use this for an experiment today. Red thread lock or blue thread lock always gives people cold chills. I've never had any issues with either one of those. Let's open our pack of screws up here. This is a torque head wrench that comes with most of your scope rings and bases. If you look really close here, you can see the blue thread lock that's actually on that screw. So most of these do have thread lock on them, especially the ones that go into the receiver. There's a tiny bit there. But when you go into your scope rings, these do not have thread lock on them. They recommend that you torque these to so many foot-pounds. I believe the set of rings that I got for this, they were Vortex, and they recommended 22 pounds. All right, let's move our screws over here. Here's our scope rings. This ring will have red, and the one in the back here will have blue. Let's put the red thread locker on. Now all these holes have been cleaned with alcohol. Even my screws have been cleaned with alcohol, so there's no cutting fluid on any of these holes, or there's no oil in here. Blue thread lock 242 removable. We'll shake this up for a few minutes, and the directions say product sets in 10 minutes, cures fully in 24 hours. Thread locker is designed for metal parts only. Do not use on plastic parts. If two inactive metals are used, a primer is required. Removable with hand tools. So there's our blue thread locker 242. Put a tiny drop on the base, and we will screw this into the ring. Here's the second screw. Put a tiny drop on there. Thread locker red 271, permanent, heavy duty for larger fasteners. Put this back in here. Over here. Spin these in. All right. This is non-removable and this is removable. We'll come back tomorrow in 24 hours at the same time. Welcome back to the second part of our test. It's been exactly 24 hours since we applied our Loctite to our scope rings for this test. The red thread lock is supposed to be permanent and the blue is supposed to be removable. So let's switch cameras here and see if we can break the screws loose on our scope rings. Alright, let's back this up. This is coming off fairly easy. So that is no problem with the blue thread locker. You can see that a lot of that came off that I put in there. Here's another one. And you can see down here that as I unscrewed that, some of that came off. Alright, so there's one ring. Still got a little bit in the threads there. Now, if I was going to clean that out, how would you clean that hole? This is a 22 caliber brush for an air rifle. Basically what I like to do, just put it in there and spin that around, that bronze brush. It'll clean them threads right up. You can see all the blue thread lock coming out of there. And then if you want to clean the screw that's here, this is a 30 caliber bronze brush. I can't seem to hold on to stuff tonight. It's been a long day at work. So if I want to clean the blue Loctite off of here, this is a 30 caliber pour brush. Basically, you can just go like this. And all that blue thread lock will come right off of there. So, it looks just like brand new. That's my blue thread locker. Now we're going to try the red thread locker. This is supposed to be permanent. Can I actually break this free? Or am I going to have to put heat on it or penetrating oil? So let's see what we can do here. No, it is not permanent. Here it goes. Here's my red thread locker. It's backing up. It didn't make that screw permanent. There's, so try to break the other one free. Nope, that one's coming off too. All these screws were soaked in alcohol and cleaned before I inserted all those into the threads with a drop of thread locker. Both the blue and the red. So there's the one that had red thread lock on it. Take the other one out. As you can see, most of that came out. So you can still see a little bit in the threads there. There we go. That concludes our test. Is red thread lock permanent? No, it's not. It very easily came out with very little torque. And it came out very easily. All I used was a screwdriver with the Torx head bit. And there's my red thread locker that's supposed to be permanent. Once you place the thread locker on the screws and you tighten it down, it's supposed to set up in 10 minutes. And it takes 24 hours to cure to full hardness. And it's been exactly 24 hours because yesterday I set the scope rings up at 5 o'clock and currently at 6 o'clock right now. So it's actually been 25 hours. Some hunters like this, some don't. Both of these came off fairly easy. It will damage your gun if you over torque it. thread lock can act as a lubricant so you can over torque your screws. Thanks for watching this short video on thread lock. If you have any comments, please leave me a comment down in the comments section. Give this video a like so other people can see this video. As always, hit that subscribe button, help my channel grow. And we will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching PA Timber Goose. We'll see you out there.